Hi everybody, how are you? Hi Glenda, hi Diane. Give me a minute, guys. Let's see here. Okay, all right. So let's let a few people get on here. Hello, Teresa. Hey, Catherine, how are you? Been out delivering orders all day to customers. And I really, I'm going to be busy the next few days. Eric and Lisa's Johnny are going to be coming here after they get done in Disney. Yeah. So they're going to be coming here. They'll be here sometime on Friday, and they'll be here through the weekend. So I'm really excited about that. So I don't know if I'm going to have a lot of time to do this, but I really want to get this information to you. So I thought while my brain is half alive, I'm going to do it. Now, I'm also going to put this on a YouTube video. So if you're watching this, you may be watching this live stream on the YouTube, which is good. Still good information, just a little bit of interaction, and hoping this can help you. We're always looking for ways to build customer lists, and we're always looking for a smart way to build business, which is sometimes trying to find quite a few customers in one location. So it could mean quite a few orders delivered to one place, which is like really great. I have a few of those, and that's really nice to know. You're like, oh, I'm packing these 5 orders, but they're all going to one place, and you're not going to 5 different places. Hi, Clara, how are you? So, oh yeah, do you like that? Do you like that tablecloth? I know, yeah, it's got makeup and eyeliner and mascara, and yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? Thank you. I thought I would come out and I would talk about something that I did early on in my career with Avon. It sounds weird to say career, right? Okay, sounds weird. But it is kind of, yeah, it is kind of like my passion, guys. And I love talking about ways to make more money with Avon and get more customers and get recruits too. It's just what I do. I thrive on it. I love it. Avon's my vehicle. I guess if I was part of another direct selling company, I could say the same thing. But I believe that all these practices work with anything that you're doing that you believe in, that you're trying to turn other people onto. Adriana, Avon, if you ask our CEO, Scott White, or our president of social selling, Betty Palm, when Avon Appreciation Day was, I guarantee you they would tell you every single day. I guarantee you they would tell you Avon Appreciation Day, Customer Appreciation Day is every single day, because if you are not appreciating your customers or your future customers, then you know what? You're not going to do real well in this business. So this is not a day. We used to have that. We kind of used to have that with Avon when the DSMs were all part of everything. But I use this all the time. I don't wait for Avon to say, we're going to have a National Customer Appreciation Day. I'm like, no, I'm using that all the time. Hi, Maria. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Charlotte. Thanks for joining me. So I'm going to go through with you what I've done with this, because I believe this works. I do. And when most of my team was local to me, so for those of you who are building a team and you have a lot of newbies right there in your vicinity, this can really help you to help them, if that makes sense, okay? And I think it does, because sometimes you're like, I don't know where to find customers. I don't know how to do this. So I've taken this training, and this will actually be part of my next training, as far as in 2 weeks, with my new rep training with my team. One of the things that I do, because it's easy, it's non-pressure, it doesn't cost you a lot. It uses the tools that I talk to you about all the time, okay? So I'm really hoping that this is going to be something that you're going to like, that you're going to grab a hold of and say, oh my gosh, I could do this once a week. I could do this once a campaign. Whatever fits in your schedule, you could do this. And it doesn't take a great amount of money, and it doesn't take a whole lot of knowledge, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time. And if you're not loving what I'm saying already, what is wrong with you? Okay, so let me tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need brochures. Okay, you're going to need brochures. I'm going to recommend, you don't need it, but I'm going to recommend, you're going to need a recruiting flyer of some sort. I have all different types of recruiting flyers. You're going to need samples. Okay, you're going to need samples. You're going to need these things. You're going to need brochures. You're going to need a recruiting flyer, and you're going to need some samples. That's what you're going to need. And this is good. This can be fun. This can be fun. Or it can be stressful. It's up to you. But if you do what I tell you and you use the words that I give you, this will work 99% of the time. This will work to get you in somewhere where people aren't yelling at you. You're not spending, hi Rhonda, you're not spending a whole lot of time doing this. You are in and you are out in a couple of minutes. You have made your brand. You have made your impact. You have gotten what you need for follow-up. This is what we're going to do. Okay. So I want you to keep in mind that when you're out there using this technique, Customer Appreciation Day, that always remember to keep in mind, especially those of you who want to build some sort of a team. Maybe you haven't yet started. Maybe you haven't found your first person. Maybe you started your team. You're just a promoter. You're a star promoter, and maybe you're like, I really want to get this leg of the business. Here I am in sales. I really want to get this team thing. I want to start building the residual income. I'd love to think in 5 or 10 years that I am making a good amount of money. But, in a year, I tell a lot of people, I tell my team that if you're willing to work hard in leadership for 1 year, you can hit bronze leader in 1 year. You can do that. But if you're going to be somebody who you do it real good this month and you're going to slip off next month and you're not going to work as hard as you did the month before, if you're not going to do follow-up, if you're not going to be out there opening yourself up to every technique and every way to talk to people and how to talk to people, how to talk with people, how to figure out how to have a freaking conversation with people instead of jamming Avon down their throat. It's the number one problem that, especially, can I be clear, old Avon reps have, because they've had someone down the road before tell them they just need to shove Avon down people's throats and eventually they will swallow it. No, I'm going to tell you, they're going to throw up all over you. That's what's going to happen. I like people to be receptive. I don't like to throw the lasso, and I don't like to lasso people and pull them into our business. I like people to come running towards me. Hi, Tammy. Good. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Heather. I want people to run towards me. I don't want to be a desperate Avon representative. I don't want to be a desperate leader. I don't want to, because there's a cruise coming, because there's a trip coming, because there's a title that I want, that I am trying to drag people into the business because it's all about me. Number one rule in this kind of a business: it's not all about you, Cupcake. Okay? The moment you figure out that this is not all about you and you start worrying about what other people need, and you try to help them meet the need, your team is going to grow. You're going to find people out of maybe the many who come on. You're going to find a few who really do have goals and really want to get out there and work this business. Hi, Wendy. But it takes time. It takes time. So, for all of you who are going and trying to hit people over the head with hammers and hold them hostage and duct tape their mouth so they can't tell you no, whatever it is that you're trying to do, stop it. Stop that. Oh my gosh, you're not sharing the love when you do that. You need to share the love, people. You need to, you need to be that person that people, they mediate to. It's like, oh my God, there's that person. I want to see him. You want to be that person. You want to be that person that they're like, she's not a pushy rep. She is so helpful. I ask her not to call and she doesn't. She lets me contact her. These are important factors in this business. And when you're going in doing what we're going to talk about in the next couple of minutes, this Customer Appreciation Day, you have got to be very careful with not being pushy, or I'm going to tell you, this will be an epic fail. This will be an epic fail if you decide you're going to get all nervous and you're not going to have fun. If you decide, yes, you're going to make sure they take the brochures and the samples no matter what. If that is your thought here, don't do this. Don't do this. This was something that for me, when I really didn't want to talk to people outside of who I knew, like if it didn't come easy, like, how do you just bring an Avon brochure up? How do you bring it into conversation? This was a way for me to have a bunch of people in front of me, starting with one person, whoever's at the desk, and eventually it can be 4 or 5 people who I'm talking to in the end. So this is something that can be easy. And you know what, even if you don't have somebody on your team, but there's another rep that maybe is your accountability partner, maybe somebody that you can go out and you're going to build their businesses and you can build them together. This can work. This person can take this office building, this person can take this other office, or you can switch off. I didn't do that. I did it, a lot of times I did this with me. And the reason I did it with me was because most of my team had other jobs. So we all practiced this, but we didn't always get to practice it together. But it's okay to do this together with your team member, and especially leaders, anybody you have that's new. And this is a great practice to give them, okay? Always remember to keep in mind, I always try to say something when I am doing this Customer Appreciation Day. When I'm talking to somebody, I always say, while they're looking through the brochure, we're always looking for representatives or somebody who needs a side hustle. And for, $25, you can actually start your own Avon business. And that normally comes up when I find somebody who's a true lover of Avon. Like they're like, oh my God, I love Avon. And and then I might go, girl, why aren't you a representative? Oh my God, why aren't you on my team? If you love Avon that much, you need to come join me. And you don't take it much further, because this customer appreciation thing, you're going into businesses. You're not going in there, you're not soliciting, you're not trying to sell something, you're not trying to recruit somebody away from their job to you. That is rude. Bosses do not appreciate this. I want you to think of this, honestly, as going in, and because it's Customer Appreciation Day, you are gifting people. Hi, Harriet. Yeah, Lee is right. Every day is Customer Appreciation Day. And you know what? In my mind, that's what I think. Whether it's conversation I'm giving my customers, like today when I was delivering their orders, I was talking to one of my customers, Lynn, and Lee was with me today, and we were talking about her solar panels on her roof, and Lee was asking her questions about it. We were having this conversation, and I was telling her that we finally got her lipstick samples in, and she had been wanting to get some samples for her granddaughter who was 15. And I said, I can not only get those colors, I found a few more colors that I'm going to throw in the bag to see if she likes them. Hi, Harriet. I just thought, oh, wow, 2 Harriets, but they spell their name differently. Hi, guys. I just, immediately it was all about them. And she was like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. She goes, you know what? I may find a couple that I like in those colors too. And I thought, cha-ching. Yes, that's the idea. Let's just have a little lipstick bullet party and let's find you something, Hi, Nita. How are you? So let's think about this. This is why I say always have a recruiting flyer. Always have a recruiting flyer. This recruiting flyer that you see right here, this is in my files in the Onward No Matter What group, or if you're on my team in Team Onward. If you're not on my team, please don't ask to join Team Onward, guys. It's just for my team. I have to have something just for my team. You got to let me do that. We opened this up 5 years ago, and we have all of you guys in there, and we love you. You're our adopted family, but you gotta let me have Team Onward, okay? And we have, I must have 10 requests a day for people trying to get in on my team page who are not part of my team. So you are my adopted team, okay? One team, one Avon, but sometimes my team needs just me. They just want me, they just want time with me, and they don't want to have to go through 17,000 people that are posting on Onward. They just want to go through what I'm posting and what they're posting. So I'm just kind of asking you, if you will, I love you, but respect that, okay? So we want the recruiting flyer. Sometimes I will put, when I'm doing this, sometimes I'll put a label on the book that says looking for representatives to service this area. Just a little label, just something that's on there, front or back. Looking for representatives to service this area, because we all know that every area could use another representative. But we also have to give them the 7 reasons why they would maybe have a need. You know, again, we're making it about them. It's not all about us, Cupcake. It's about them. So sometimes I will do something like that. And this is how we start out. This is the deal. We're prospecting. You know, I don't like that word, but we've found a way that we can find customers, helpers, new representatives. And we can do this in like an hour. Like, you can go do this and you can do it in office building in like an hour. If you have an office building that maybe has, you know, 5 to 10 offices in it, you can go do this. It only takes a few minutes for each office. Okay. You have to remember that it's fun and it is almost rejection free. You know why? Because you're giving something away. You know why? Because you're saying, I appreciate you. That is why. Okay. So what I'm gonna talk to you about is basically what we call a magic 5-line technique. I mean, it's just it's like magic. If you follow what I'm saying and you say this, hi Anthony, how are you? Hi Tracy, hi Janet. If you follow what I'm telling you and you don't try to get any fancier than what I'm telling you, okay? Just spit it out how I'm telling you. You're going to be all right, okay? You're going to be all right. But if you start getting crazy about everything, you know, and you start getting wordsy and you start saying, well, it's not really Avon Customer Appreciation Day, but, you know, I'm kind of having my own Avon Appreciation. Stop it. Stop over-explaining yourself. That's half of what the problem is with so many representatives. You get into so explaining yourself that you're like, oh my God, just be quiet. Zip it, zip it. You're doing this and you need to be doing this sometimes. You need to be listening. That's why you're not hearing what the people are saying. You need to hear what the people are saying, okay? So let's get started here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick a small, medium office. Don't go to one that's got 100 offices in it, okay? That's not cool, okay? You're going to be going on. Molly told me this would take me an hour to do this. Oh my God, I'm only on the first floor and I'm already 2 hours, because you pick a building that has 100. Don't go to Johns Hopkins Hospital that has every department. Don't do that, okay? Small to medium office building. And a lot of these are like medical office buildings. You know what I'm saying? That is kind of cool because there's really not that many. I can think of so many in my area or 50 miles away from me right now that if I were to go back ones that I hit again, that by the time I got done, there were 5 to 10 offices in each building, and that was plenty. And if I happened to have a teammate with me, which wasn't often, but if I did, then she would go with me for the first couple, let her hear what I was saying, whatever, and then she would go do a couple by herself. We would go floors that might be 1 or 2 floors, you know what I'm saying? So nothing big. So and the reason that I like medical buildings, I got to be honest with you, I like offices that have medical insurance, people, sometimes law offices, things like that, is because there's always a lot of women there. Hi, Vicki. How are you? Hi, Carmen. There is always a bunch of women there, but you know, you're only going to meet with one at the desk at first. So you're going to get some brochures ready, right? And you're hoping that you're going to meet up with more than one person per office. So my magic number per office is 5 brochures. 5 brochures. So I make sure that I have 5 brochures with recruiting flyers. Okay. Now, when I first started, I'm going to take this both ways because I don't want you to say, Molly, I can't afford to do this. okay? So when I first started, I didn't have a lot of money. So what I did is for about 2 campaigns, 3 campaigns, when Avon was having all these great deals like they do now for samples on the What's New, I would get those. I would get skincare. I would get perfume. Always lipstick bullets. They always go for lipstick bullets first. And I'm telling you now, with Avon, with Avon right now, bringing those lipstick bullets back. I just got a whole bunch that I just ordered because they were in the catalog and they're back. And I never thought I would crave lipstick bullets, but for the first time in I don't know how many years, I was completely out of lipstick bullets. So when they came in, I felt like my cup is full. Thank you, Jesus. The lipstick bullets are back in. So I always have lipstick bullets. They're really important. Skincare, what I love now too is, those Skin So Soft. Most definitely I would have some Skin So Soft. And then skincare is huge. It's just huge. And by the way, not just like moisturizers. Moisturizers are great because everybody should have that regimen. But I like it when people say, because they know you're from Avon, and they say, oh my gosh, do you have anything for these wrinkles here? Or my eyes are a problem. Think about it. Now Avon has the new eye lift samples that are out, and they are remarkable. I love them. They're beautiful. So you want to have samples. So when I first started, what I did is I had a basket. And I made like, I had these little teeny, almost like cups that were in there. And I would put like the lipsticks so they wouldn't go all over the place. There was a lipstick sample in there. And then of course we had the cards for the longest time. Now I like the ones now that tear off, the skincare ones. I love them. But we didn't. We had the big cards. So I had the cards. I knew what skincare that I had. I even sometimes, if I had like extra lip balms that were hanging around or extra hand creams, I even took them if for some reason there was a great deal and I got them, or maybe I had some that I had bought like at Christmas time or something, and here we are in April. I would take those because, especially, remember the calendar ones? I would take those. I'm like, I need to give these to people. I've already paid for them in my order. You're not going in there selling anything. Do not. The biggest mistake with this is to say, well, I have lip balms and I have hand creams with me, so I'm going to take these in case somebody wants to buy this. Don't. That is solicitation. They are going to boot your tail out of the building in most cases, and you have just targeted yourself that when somebody sees you coming, Mr. Security Officer, he's going to know what you're doing. Okay, so this is not about making immediate sales. Hi, Janae. It is not about immediate sales. This is about going in, and this is about potential customers that you can gather. Few customers in one place. You need to keep that in mind. So if you're going to take hand creams or lip balms, and let me tell you what I did so people just wouldn't take them. What I would do when I went into an office building is I would say, hey, I also have a hand cream and a couple of lip balms here in case somebody could use them. I want to drop these off too, but let's get to that point, okay? So you're going to label the brochures. You're going to get a basket of samples, or this is what I do now when I go do it. You all, I showed you this on the Friday call when I was on there, how I have this, and I'm going to take this out of here. This is all paired together. I have a recruiting flyer on the back. I used this one the other night, so it kind of looks pretty. So I'm going to take this out. This is a clear literature bag. I showed you this. This video is also on YouTube. It's pinned to the top of Onward if you want to watch this further, because I'm not going to go into all this again. But I just wanted to show you this. Do you see this? I'm hoping you can see this. This is my package. You see I just have a little packet. Sometimes I find ones that have little lips on them, or pretty colors, or Easter, or whatever. I tend to stick to the clear because when I want to do this, I don't worry about what it's in. I just want it to work. I'm about it working and about getting the product in their hand, not about how pretty everything looks. This isn't a gift basket. This is Customer Appreciation Day. And if you notice too, every single sample that I have, Every sample I have has got some form of information about me on it, because if they rip it out of the basket, if they take it, they need to know how to get a hold of you, okay? So always, always, all my samples get labeled no matter what, okay? Just telling you. So it's what I do. I'm not telling you you have to, but it's going to be really sucky if they go and they search for an Avon rep and your name doesn't come up, but you're the one who did all the work, but another Avon representative is going to get the sale. So you have to protect yourself there if you're going to go do the work, okay? So what I do is I put it all in here. You'll see there's a new in here. I have a Skin So Soft in here. I have a perfume in here. I have a men's cologne in here. I have a little lipstick thing, and I even have a piece of candy, which, by the way, I went to the dollar store and got a bag of it for like $3, and it's a great big huge bag. And this is what I do now. I'm not telling you you have to do this. This is me, almost 14 years in, okay? But before, remember, a basket with them, and that's all you need going in. You don't want to be taking your purse and everything. You don't want to be taking 50 things. This is about brochures, and this is about samples, okay, and recruiting flyers, okay? It's all you need. So 25 samples to a building, probably, if you have 5 offices, and a lot of samples. And the returns that you'll get most of the time are really, really worth the small investment that you make in the samples. So let's talk about, we talked about team. If you're going to take your team with you and you show them how to do it, or if you want to talk about this, whether it's on a live stream or in your group, I need you to understand that the definition of success for this is to get a few people that are either going to buy from you long term, okay? Or when your team is doing this, if you have 15 people on your team, try this, but 5 people on your team keep doing this. Those people, their sales are going to move up and they're going to get more customers. So when you're introducing this, just like I don't think all 17,300, whatever is in here, I don't think all of you are going to take this and do this, and that's okay. This is not for everybody. But for some who do and who find success with this, what's going to happen is they're going to go forth and they're going to keep doing this, and they're going to do this once a campaign, and they're going to teach their team how to do this. And when they do that, sales are going to rise because they're going to acquire more customers. So this is what the goal is with all of this, okay? Okay, so when you're going into the building, let's say you're going in, you're like, deep breath. Don't forget to exhale. Don't go in like this because they're going to say she's weird. What's wrong? She acts like she can't breathe. Usa. Let it out. Be calm. Be confident. Okay? I have to tell you that 99.5% of the time, they have always welcomed me with open arms. I think I've had 2 places ever, 2 offices, that have said, we don't want your books. We don't want your samples. We don't want anything. Get out. It just doesn't happen. It's Avon Customer Appreciation Day. So when you go into the office, this is what you're saying. You're saying, hi, okay, you're the office, okay, and you, talking to you, you're behind the desk, right? And if this is a doctor's office, there's you. There's the person who's doing the accounting. There's the person who's doing the scheduling. There's the nurse. There's the PA. There's the nurse's assistant. Everybody's walking all around. There's a bunch of people there. So I go in and I go, hey, my name is Molly. I am local Avon representative, and we were coming to you today, or I'm coming to you today because today is Avon Customer Appreciation Day. And they're like, oh, really? And I said, look, I just need a few seconds of your time. I'm here today. I have free samples to give you. And do you want some free samples too? Oh my gosh, yeah, I do. Look, I got a brochure for you. I got some samples for you. Or, yeah, I have some samples right here in my basket. Why don't you just take a look real quick, see what you'd like to take from here. I have lipsticks. I have skincare. I have some Skin So Soft. You've heard of Skin So Soft, right? It's awesome stuff. So anyways, I have some of the latest samples here for you. So I want everybody to get something for free, and I want to make sure everybody has a brochure. So, they're there. They're looking through the samples, or you're giving them the samples. And then if there's just somebody there, let's say it's just a receptionist, I'll say, do you have any other ladies that are in the office? I mean, I hate for them to see your samples and they don't get them. Can I, you got 2, 3, because I'll leave some sample packs and a couple of brochures for them. And all of a sudden I see her thinking, well, yeah, you know, well, could you leave like 3 or 4 more? Because, you know, there's more girls back in the back. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, let me give you 3 or 4 more. And here's a couple of more packs of sample, or here, let me take 1 each of all these samples and let me leave these with you. And then you can divvy them up how you want to. And believe me, they are really, really happy. And then before I leave, I say to them, by the way, I always make sure that before I put my order in, I give my customers a courteous call, a courtesy call, and to let them know that I'm placing my order. I'm going to give you a call back in a couple of days if it's okay. I see, if this is the number I can reach you on. And what did you say your name was? Rachel? Rachel, hey, Rachel, again, I'm Molly. If it's okay, I'm just going to give you a call in a couple of days, see if there's anything I can get for you, if you liked any of the samples, and you have a really great day. They're like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? You're done. I'm waving goodbye. Have a great Avon day. Boom, it's done. I'm going. I'm out the door. This has never taken me more than 5 minutes, except the one time, well, actually a couple of times, not just once. I was bombarded by about 9 women in the office because I didn't know there were 9 in all those offices. And by the time they got done, I had to go back downstairs in the car and I had to reload. That's what I had to reload. But it was a good thing. It was a good thing. And still to this day, those people are my customers. New nurses, I still take brochures by. I still have 3 or 4 customers there. I have one person who is my go-to person there. She calls me and gives me the order. She collects the money for me. I go and make the exchange in like 3 minutes, give them the new brochures, give them some new things. This works. And then you go to the next office. And it's just that building that I do, but you see how there's a possibility to get really, really, really wordy there, but you don't have to be that person, okay? Again, what are you saying? Hey, my name is Molly. I'm here because it's Avon Customer Appreciation Day. So I'm here for you. I am here because I want to give you some free samples that I have here and also give you the latest brochures. You know, and the thing is, if you have them in packs like this, this is where, how many people do you have here? I can give her 3 packs, or she can look in the basket, whatever way you choose. There is no rhyme or reason for this. Again, this is a way for sometimes, you know how you feel like you live out in the sticks and there's nobody around you and you're like, Molly, I have to walk 3 miles in between each house. Now, definitely, I live in the metropolitan area. Believe me, that is not the case here. Everywhere you look, there's a house. Everywhere you look, there's an apartment building. Everywhere you look, there's a food joint. And by the way, I haven't just done this in medical buildings. I have gone in, and be clear, I have gone into McDonald's. I have gone into Wendy's. I have gone into Burger King's. I do not go in at peak times. I don't go in first thing in the morning. I don't go in between 12 and 2 or 11 and 2 because that is when all the customers are in there and they're busy. But I normally go in between 2 or 3 because that seems to be the lull for any of your fast eating places. And the person who's there, you know what, I may go in there and get a soda. But again, I'm like, it's Avon Appreciation Day. I'm here to give you something. Do you like samples? Do you like perfume? Do you like lipstick? Do you like, what is it that you like? Because I got it all right here. And I got some brochures for you. And because you're not in there going, hey, I'd like to be your Avon representative. Hey, I'll wait right here if you look through the book and place an order. And even if those people don't, do you realize that book will be left in the back? That book will be left at a table. Somebody else could pick that up. The possibilities are endless. Endless with Customer Appreciation Day. And, you know, I normally try to wear like an Avon button, an Avon shirt, or at least dress in your Avon apparel. A lot of times I'm very incognito. I go in and I'm just wearing regular gear, not so much Avon everything. I may have Avon earrings on and, of course, wearing the makeup and everything else. But I go in, and the thing is, you do not want to be in there more than a couple of minutes. You don't. These people are working. These people are answering phones. You were in there making the connection, right? Well, let me tell you what the deal is here, though. This is where the problem is. The problem is if you are not going to do what you say you're going to do, this can lead to a problem. In other words, when you say, I'm going to call back next week, a couple of days before my order, because I would like to, see if there's anything I can do, you've got to follow up. In this business, no matter what you're doing, the fortune is in the follow-up, people. It is in the follow-up. Be sure that you also train your teams to do this. You've got the card or you've got the little pad and you're getting the name and number. When you're going in office buildings, most of the time there's a business card there. And what I do is if that girl has a name tag, or I say, what's your name? And she says, Rachel. Okay. Hey, Rachel, I'm going to give you a call back in a few days before my order goes in. If there's anything I can get for you, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of it. And let me tell you why. There are people who like to buy from people that they know that they like. When you give somebody the impression that they can be at ease with you and you're not this pushy person, they almost feel like they know you. You can be professional and fun at the same time, okay? Don't go in there chewing gum. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Make sure you brush your teeth. That's as professional as it gets, and make sure you wear deodorant. It's professional as it gets, okay? Throw a little paint on the barn if you have to. If you're okay with that, it's okay. Make sure you don't got bad head. You know what I'm saying? Comb the hair a little bit, or either have a hairstyle like me where it won't matter and you can just get up and shake it and you'll be okay. But you want to make sure that you are presentable for everybody. You need to follow up no matter what. Consistency is the key. Don't tell people you're going to do something that you don't do. Let me tell you too why it's important. Why it's important. Do you know how many people have probably come into their office and said they'd call back, but said, well, if they want something, they'll call me? Maybe you left a brochure with somebody, but this is what happens. Somebody else takes that brochure, but the girl knows that she wanted something. She knew that she left it on the table, right? She knew she left that brochure on the table, but one of the other girls took it. And when you call and you're talking to Rachel, there's almost a sigh of relief. I mean, Rachel is like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you called. I found 3 nail polishes that I really wanted to try. And she took my book. So I don't even know. So now you're going to go take her another book, right? And if she loved the book and she loved the book, don't go, well, you can go to my e-store right now. She wants a book. Take that girl a book. You take them what they want, or you put one in the mail, you do something, but you do what you want to do. Because if you're really going to treat this like Avon Customer Appreciation Day, if you're trying to get more customers, then you better be willing to service those customers. That is what this is all about. And it's easy to get the contact information. You've just given them a gift. You haven't gone in and said, okay, I need you to spend $10 with me. Come on. I got 18 polishes here. Who wants it? I've got 50 lip balm, 2 for $1. Come on. But you ain't got $1 in your pocket? What you doing? That's what I said. Do not go in there thinking this is a place for you to get rid of your stock. You are no better than those annoying solicitors when you do that. Now, it's different when you establish a customer, and then when you bring their order, you have a basket of things that maybe you have. Spray Skin So Soft, Bug Guard, a couple of lip balms, hand cream, maybe a lotion. Don't bring the giant size basket, okay? Don't do it. Don't be that person. Bring a few things that you can say, oh yeah, this is my $5 or less basket. Oh my gosh, I did that for years. When my stock would get a little bit out of hand with stuff I had, I would go deliver an order and say, this is my $5. Anything in here is $5 or less. The lip balms, oh yeah, the lip balms, yeah, you can get 2 for $1. Whatever it is that you want to do. The point is, you don't want to do that when you're going and looking for customers. It's rude. You're taking up their time. This is something you are in and out in 5 minutes. And most of the time, I'm in and out in 3 minutes. Unless you get bombarded with 8 or 9 people and everybody wants samples. That's a little, I've even had it where the patients have come up and been like, could I have one of the, and you're like, oh my God, I need my mask. I need my mask. She just coughed all over my sample packet. What's she doing? She coughed all over my sample packet. You feel like you got to protect everything. Then I'm like, back off, lady, back off. Just stop it. Just stand back. I'm going to toss you a sample packet. No, I don't really do that, but that's what you want to do. So you want to make sure, look, I've had them all. Or how about this? Let me tell you, I like I said, I have gotten a couple of objections, but let's talk about potential objections, okay? Once in a while, I would go in and somebody would give you the same, hey, you're not allowed to solicit here. And no, you can't leave your brochures in the waiting room or something like that. But I immediately say, oh, no, I'm not soliciting. I'm not in here to sell you anything. That's not it. Again, this is customer appreciation. This Customer Appreciation Day. We're here giving out free samples, free brochures. Remember to smile. And even if they tell you you can't, say thank you so much for giving me, just a couple of minutes of your time. One time I did that, and out the door I went, and I went into the next office, and they were really receptive, right? And when I came out of that office, there was a lady that was standing outside in the hall. And as soon as I came out, she said, Molly, because I'd introduced myself. And she said, I work in this office, and I know what she said, what Rachel said. She said, but can I get a sample packet and a brochure? She says, I love Avon. She goes, I love it. She says, and I was hoping I would see you out here somewhere. I was hoping you were going to another office. She said, so I could get one. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I said, I'll tell you what, can I give you a second packet and another brochure? And if there's somebody else that you know of in there who sees you with it, could you give them that brochure in the sample packet? And if you tell them when they order from me to mention your name, I'm going to give you 10% off your next order. Okay, I will. If they order for me, if they become an established customer, I'm going to do that for you, for sharing the sample packet and for sharing the brochure. Okay. And again, she's like, oh my God, yeah, I'll do that. My mama loves it. I'll take it and give my mama one. So every now and then you're going to hear it. I mean, you're going to, somebody who's the gatekeeper, I'm sorry, you can't come in. Have you ever seen Ghostbusters, right? I'm the gatekeeper. That woman at the front desk who's like, I don't smile. Everybody's a solicitor. And we just soften her up and say, baby, let me give you some Skin So Soft. It's all good. You don't want a free sample packet? And most of the time she's like, well, yeah, I do. Most of the time they say yes, okay? But if you do run across the one, you need to say thank you so much. Don't be like, oh my God, you're such a witch with the B at the front. You need to be that person. Thank you very much. And you know what? I hear you. I marked down which office that is, because in the future, I don't want to go into that office if that's how it is. So and I have to be clear, never gotten thrown out of a building. I've never had anybody throw rotten tomatoes at me, okay? It's okay. And I went in expecting a no, but because I was just friendly, short and sweet, and I was giving gifts away. And look, for the ones who were real receptive, remember I told you that I would have, they used to have these, and I don't know if they still do or not, but Avon at one time you could purchase these Avon aprons, and they have these little pockets in them. And so what I would do is I would have this little apron thing on underneath my jacket, and I would have a few hand creams, and I'd have a few lip balms. And when somebody was really receptive or helped, they really loved it, they spent a few more minutes with us or whatever, that's when I would say, hey, you know what? You guys have been so great. Let me leave a hand cream in here for you, and here's a couple of lip balms for you. You know, if you like this, let me know. I'll let you know what kind it is. But you know what? You guys have been great. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes. And you know what? Have a great Avon day. And out you go. So the point is, it can make a really, really big difference. Let me see. And then you hear this. Sometimes you'll go in there, and all of you need to hear this, okay? Sometimes you hear, we already have an Avon representatives. Have you heard that before? When you've gone in someplace, we already have a representative who comes in here. I have to tell you, I always smile and go, wow, that is so great. Thank you for being a really great customer. It's nice to know that one of our sister representatives are in here taking care of you. So listen, pick out a couple of free samples and be sure to call your representative with an order. Yeah, that's what we call paying it forward. That's what we call doing the right moral and ethical thing when another representative has the playing field there. So many times people have said, I love Avon. I have an Avon rep. I've had one for 5 years. Or when I go into a shop and I ask permission to leave brochures and they say, you know, we already have a representative who leaves brochures here. I don't just leave mine there. You know, if I do have samples, and most of the time I always have sample packs with me, I say, here's a sample pack for you. And you know what? If you find something you want, make sure you contact your representative. You know what? And tell her I gave you the samples. I think that's awesome. I said, we're all a sisterhood here. We all support one another. We just want to make sure everybody has an Avon rep. Gosh, guys, if more of us did that, instead of trying to undercut, underswipe, take customers, put a representative down, whatever it may be, if most of us would take that upper tier and say, that's awesome. If you would do that, I'm going to tell you, it's going to come back to you 100 times. You're going to be rewarded. You are. Don't be the rep who wants to take some, or well, what's your rep's name? You know what? If you're asking who the rep is, I have to think that maybe your intention's not too good, because it doesn't matter who the representative is. She is a sister rep who has beat you to the punch, who has been there longer than you, and that is what you need to do. You don't go in there trying to undercut a sister. You just don't do that, or a brother who is selling Avon. You don't do that. It's just not cool, and it's not who we want to be. We don't want to be that catty, witchy, bitchy person who you are known as the Avon representative who will step on anybody's neck to get ahead. Not cool. Not cool. And if you are, karma will revisit you. Just saying. I know. Okay, so let's think about this. So this is basically a way to get in and talk to people and become comfortable talking to people that is almost virtually rejection-free. Almost virtually. And I got to tell you something. When I found out how well this would work, once a campaign, I couldn't tell you once a week. Once a week, I couldn't do. My life was too busy. I had 2 jobs. I was taking care of my kids. I was a single mom. But once a campaign, I'd say, that's my building. In campaign 10, that's my building. And I would make sure that, and by the way, if there were 8 offices in that building, but I only had enough brochures for 5 offices, so I just marked what offices I went into. Office 101, Office 102, Office 201, Office 202. I went to those, so the next campaign, I would go back. Don't overextend and say, oh, they have. Don't feel like that you've got to go count the offices in the business. See, that's the other problem. Y'all overplan. What color does everything have to be? I have to have matching sample bags. Oh my gosh, I've got to load the books exactly like Molly said. Oh my gosh, I have to have those special labels and I don't have the money. Oh my gosh, I got to. Oh my gosh, I got to. By the time you got to, somebody else has already gotten to it because they're just taking my advice and they're going and doing it, guys. You got to stop overthinking what you're doing. Stop overthinking it and just go do it. So if you're like, my budget says I can get 30 more brochures than what I normally get to go do this. And that means that at 5 brochures that I plan per office building, and they may not need, per office, and they may not need 5 brochures, but I say 5 because most of the time there's 5 women in an office. I'm going to go to 6 offices or 5 offices or 3 offices, whatever it is. Pick the building, say 3 offices, mark the offices you go into, and go do it. Just go do it. As Nike says, do it. Just do it. That's what entrepreneurs do. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect, if you're waiting until you can do up a sample bag with the more expensive stuff like I do, guys, if I had waited to where I can do this, can I be clear? You wouldn't be here listening to me right now because I'd still be waiting. I figured out what I could do on my budget. I knew I needed the brochures and I needed a recruiting flyer. They were top in my book. I knew the samples would be a little bit more. And like I said, I didn't even have little baggies. I just did a basket. I had a basket somebody had given me for Easter that was laying around, but it wasn't like a pink and green, pink and blue one. It was just a regular basket. I used that basket. I put a little tissue paper in the bottom of it. I put a little cup for the lipstick things. I couldn't bag it up. I didn't have the money to go to even the dollar store then. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted to tell people about Avon Customer Appreciation Day. And that's what I did. And I did it on my budget. And I picked the number of offices. But what I did do is I did it every campaign. Sometimes I didn't get anybody in those campaigns. But you know what? Sometimes I would get in office and first it would start with one person ordering. And then that one person would see what the other person was getting when they got their Avon order in. And then there were 3 people. And then the doctor needed a basket for his wife because he didn't know what to get her. And then, what that led to, the doctor coming to me saying, you know what, I just don't want to give like Panera Bread gift certificates. Can you do up baskets for me? I need 5 $20 baskets and I need 3 $50 baskets for my people who run my office. Can you put something together for me? And I'm like, you better believe I can put something together for you, big boy. I didn't say big boy, but that's what I was thinking. So yeah, that's what I did. So again, you want to make sure this is very duplicatable. Do you see what I'm saying? From a beginning person to somebody who's where I'm at, you want to get back to it. This is stuff I'm doing now because you know what? I want to find people who have a need. I want to find people who look at that flyer and say, yes, 3 out of 7 of these reasons are why I need to become an Avon representative. And when somebody says, and sometimes that's what they do, they'll go, oh my gosh, do you love this? How long have you been doing it? And then I could say 8 years, 4 years, 2 months, whatever it is I was doing. I'd say 14 years. Do you love it? Girl, do I love it? I'm my own boss. Are you kidding me? Yes, I love it. I love it because I can come in here and I can share with you. And I love it because eventually it got me away from the job that I really didn't like, that I really wasn't getting paid what I was worth. And now I decide how much I'm going to make and how much I'm willing to work to make that money. And when you find that one person who wants what you want, that person could be your bronze leader. That person could be your gold leader to get you to bronze executive. It only takes one who's willing to put the work in. And this is a way where you can sometimes find recruits. But in the meantime, you're trying to grow your sales and you're trying to teach your team how to grow sales. So this is a really easy way so that they won't experience all that rejection right up front. You just got to teach them the words, Tell them. It's all about them getting in there in about 30 seconds of speaking. Hi, I'm Molly with Avon, and today is Avon Customer Appreciation Day, and we're here giving brochures and free samples to all the offices today. So come on, pick What is it that you want? And you're talking to that. Is there anybody else here that I could leave some with? Do you have other women in the office? You're in there. By the time you get done, you're 3 to 5 minutes in that office and you are out. You're not making them feel uncomfortable. You're not uncomfortable. And when you come out, you're like, oh my God, I even exhaled. This is awesome. So I think that can be a really, really, really cool thing. So this is about making more money. This is about teaching your team some very simple things. Sometimes we're so busy trying to teach them about the pay scale and what they can make and all of this. And, and people are always giving excuses about why they don't have customers. But now you can give them, you can take their excuses away and say, sure you can. Somebody's got to have a medical office somewhere. Somebody has a McDonald's that between 2 and 4, they're not very busy. Somebody has a business office that's there that sells insurance and this and that and the mortgage office, and they're not busy all the time, believe it or not. And you're doing the same thing with all those offices. So very, very easy thing to do. But I really felt the need. I was going to save this for next, and I found this, and I thought this was so cool, guys. Look at this. I can, I will, end of story. Is that powerful? I know it's just 3 little statements. I can, I will, end of story. That has to be what your gumption is in all this. You have to say, this is something I can do. This is something I will do. End of story. And then you go do it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Go in there and obtain those customers. And by the way, it's a really great thing when you have 35 orders to deliver, but 15 of those orders are going to one building. 3 offices, 1 building. And then the other orders you're taking everywhere else. I love to save gas that way. I love to save time that way. So again, if you can get people in the same building and you're dropping off all those orders, that is such a win-win situation. It really, really is. Now, I know, guys, that I know you guys are talking, but believe it or not, my scroll is not scrolling. So if you have any questions, you can put them here. You guys know that you can put them in. You can tag me in the Onward group. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on a YouTube video so that it'll be easier for you to share then with your teams or in the group so that they can watch this, and hopefully it will help them out. And remember, think about how you would do this, because it's not always about my spend. I can give you the basics, but a lot of the time it's about your spend. How would you offer for your team to do it? Or let your team give you ideas too of how they think they can do it, or maybe a different place where they can go do this. I got to tell you, Avon Appreciation Day, Customer Appreciation Day, is one of the best things ever. It really does. It opens the door to every place to you, because you're coming in, you're not a salesperson, you're gifting them. You're saying, you're not even my customer yet, but you know what? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So go forth, multiply your sales, multiply your team. You all know what I say all the time. If you've watched any of my videos, besides Onward, no matter what, you know I say that all the time. But what I also tell my team is this: slow, steady, and consistent. A lot of people run up titles and they run really, really fast. And then what happens is they burn out, or things start crumbling and they fall apart. But I tell them, it's not about doing everything in the first 3 campaigns. It's not about doing everything in the first 6 campaigns. And I know we have incentives like Kickstart and all, which are wonderful. And sometimes that comes together for some people. But this is a business that you're growing. So it's slow, steady, and consistent. That doesn't mean like a snail, okay? That doesn't mean like something where somebody's cut their legs off, okay? It's not like that. Even a snake can move fast, okay? This is about doing what you need to do consistently at a pace that you can handle it. But when you find the pace you like, and then you do it this week, but you don't do it next week. You do it this campaign, but you don't do it for 3 campaigns. You do it this way, you don't do it that. The problem is you're not consistent. And like I shared with you guys a few Friday nights ago, when I had to take a hard look at myself about what was going on with my team and what was different with me. What could I change about me? Because it started with me first. I was the leader of that team of 760, 70, 80, whatever we have, close to 800. I was the leader. So what did I have to change about me? What did I have to do differently that would help my team? Not do it for them, but what did they need from me? Well, let me tell you what they needed from me. They needed me to be consistent with training. They needed me to be consistent, to have something just for them, the Team Onward group. They needed me to lead by example. They needed me to hear what they were saying. And yeah, sometimes they do need me to kick their butt. They do. Sometimes it's exactly what they need. But the point is, I needed to be consistent. I couldn't let things get me down. I couldn't say, well, this campaign wasn't as good as this campaign. Screw it. I don't even want to do anything this campaign. Oh, yeah, I thought it many times. But you got to move past those times and say, all that's going to do is stagnate me or move me down from what I'm doing. Don't be that person. Know what you want, see the goal, never take the goal out of sight, and know that if you don't keep working slow, steady, and consistent to get this done, you know, it's just how it is. Hey, Letitia, how are you? Letitia, when I come to Hawaii, to Maui, am I going to see you? I don't know, because I know Hawaii is really a big place. Am I going to see you if we come there? Because it's been forever, girl. You know it's been forever. Letitia is a wonderful person, has been somebody that I have followed for years, has always been so supportive of me and my journey. And no, she's not on my team. She is an Avon sister through and through. She's like my sister from another mother. You know what I'm saying? And that is, when you find that with the Avon representatives, hold on to that. Because I don't have sisters, I have all brothers. But the sisterhood in Avon, for the ones who really are there for each other, as you can tell in Onward, it is a solid family. It's a solid family. And people like this, when you see them show up, I see Letitia pop on and I'm like, oh my God, it's Letitia. You know, there are people who just bring a smile to your face and you're like, oh my God, they're okay. There they are. I haven't heard from them in a while, this or that. And especially when you're on different time zones and stuff. That's crazy. So take this. I will. End of story. Make that your thing. Be consistent, guys. And I hope this has helped you. Avon Customer Appreciation Day. I will put it in Onward as soon as I get this up in the next couple of days. You can share it with your team on YouTube. So much easier than trying to share a live stream. You know what I'm saying? Especially from a group. It's a pain in the butt. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for taking the time to be on here for those of you who could. I know it was impromptu. It was just one of those things that was in my head. I wanted to get it done. I know you see my doggy. That's my Caney. Kane's getting old. He is getting old, but I love my doggy. It's my Cane. I have a boxer, and he is spastic, but he's my baby, so it's all good. And I'm spastic too, so see, it all works, like, you know, like their owner. So you guys take care. I got some things that I've got to get done before I hit the hay for the night. Have a good evening, and go forth and grow your team and grow your sales. Love you guys. Bye-bye.